is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.
In the headlines, a safety breach at the major Dutch hospital has forced a dozen medical workers into a 6-week quarantine. The staff at the University Medical Center were accidentally exposed to hantavirus samples from the MV Hondius without proper protective gear. At least 9 people, including 2 police officers, were killed in a devastating bomb explosion in northwestern Pakistan. The blast ripped through a busy market in Sarai Naurang, leaving the Laki Marwat district in mourning. Former government officials are blasting Antonio Trillanes IV, likening the former senator to a clown after he attempted to serve an alleged ICC warrant at the Senate. Legal experts are now calling for criminal charges against Trillanes for disrupting official legislative proceedings. Hundreds of Palestinians gathered in Ramallah to commemorate the 78th anniversary of the Nakba. Demonstrators reaffirmed the right of return as the region continues to be ravaged by the collapse of recent ceasefire talks. The brief lull in the Russian-Ukraine conflict has come to a violent end following the expiration of the Victory Day truce. Both nations report a surge in combat, with hundreds of clashes erupting across the front line over the last 24 hours. In sports, South Africa's Aiden Smith and Rwanda's Emmeline Imanizabayo delivered gold medal performances in Ghana. The pair headlined the opening day of the 2026 African Athletics Championships in Accra. And a 10-year-old girl in England is being honored for her resilience after losing her twin brother. The youngster received the Rising Above Adversity Award from Nottinghamshire Police for her mission to spread compassion throughout her community. I'm Carlo de la Peña. Newsline World starts now. For our news, a breach in safety protocols at a major Dutch hospital has forced a dozen medical workers into a 6-week quarantine. The staff at the University Medical Center in the Netherlands were exposed to hantavirus samples from a passenger of the ill-fated cruise ship Hondius without proper protection. Let's listen to this report. 12 employees at the Radboud University Medical Center in Nijmegen, Netherlands, are now under a mandatory 6-week quarantine following a critical biosafety failure. The move follows report that blood and urine samples from a patient infected with hantavirus were handled using standard procedures rather than the high-security protocols required for the deadly pathogen. The patient, a crew member of the Dutch cruise ship MV Hondius, was evacuated from Cape Verde to the Netherlands last week after the vessel became the center of a growing international health emergency. Radboud UMC officials confirmed the lapse occurred over the weekend, stating that while the risk of actual infection remains low, the potential for human-to-human transmission of this specific strain, suspected to be the Andes hantavirus, necessitates strict isolation. The MV Hondius outbreak has already claimed 3 lives, with at least 9 confirmed cases and 2 more suspected. The ship recently made port in Tenerife, where repatriation efforts for the remaining 147 passengers and crew are underway. Early on Tuesday, 2 planes carrying Dutch nationals landed at Eindhoven Airport. Health authorities, including the World Health Organization, have been quick to calm public fears, stressing that hantavirus is primarily rodent-borne and does not pose a COVID-scale pandemic threat. However, for the 12 medical workers in Nijmegen, the next month and a half will be spent in preventive isolation as they await the end of the virus's long incubation period. The final chapter of the MV Hondius standoff in Spain has concluded as the hantavirus hit vessel departs Tenerife for the Netherlands. Following a high-stakes evacuation of the remaining passengers, Spanish health officials are now beginning a large-scale disinfection operation. The MV Hondius has officially set sail for Rotterdam after the final 28 passengers and crew were successfully disembarked at the port of Granadilla. Despite rough seas and strong winds that limited the ship's docking time to just 1 hour, Spanish Health Minister Monica Garcia confirmed the operation was completed under completely safe conditions. Among the final group were 6 passengers originally bound for Australia who have now been rerouted to the Netherlands alongside their fellow evacuees. While 26 crew members remain on board to navigate the vessel home, Spanish authorities have shifted their focus to a total deep clean of all airport and port facilities used during the repatriation. Russia has announced that the Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missile, described as an unstoppable nuclear juggernaut, will be placed on combat duty by the end of the year. In a stark warning to the West, President Vladimir Putin revealed the system has a range of tens of thousands of kilometers and the unique ability to evade all existing air defense systems. Almar Forsuelo reports.
The RS-28 Sarmat is a silo-based, super-heavy liquid-fueled intercontinental ballistic missile designed to replace the Soviet-era Voivoda. This fifth-generation behemoth is engineered with a shortened boost phase to evade early warning satellites and can carry a payload of up to 10 heavy nuclear warheads or a fleet of Vanguard hypersonic glide vehicles. Its sheer scale allows to strike any point on Earth by flying over either the North or South poles, rendering existing missile shields virtually obsolete. Speaking in Moscow, President Vladimir Putin emphasized that the system, in development since 2011, holds a catastrophic strategic advantage with a combined yield of 7.5 megatons.
Во-первых, это самый мощный ракетный комплекс в мире, не уступающий по мощности стоящему у нас на вооружении ракетному комплексу «Воевода», как только что было сказано, еще советского производства. Суммарная мощность доставляемого боезаряда более чем в 4 раза превышает мощность любого существующего самого мощного западного аналога. Во-вторых, и это главное, ракета может двигаться не только по баллистической, но и по суборбитальной траектории, что, в-третьих, позволяет обеспечить дальность применения свыше 35 тысяч километров с одновременно улучшенными в 2 раза характеристиками по точности. И, наконец, с возможностью преодоления всех существующих и перспективных систем противоракетной обороны.
Putin confirmed that the 2 other invisible nuclear-powered systems, the Poseidon underwater drone and the Burevestnik cruise missile, are in their final stages of development. He also noted that the medium-range Oreshnik system, which can also be equipped with nuclear warheads, is already on active combat duty. Developed by the JSC Makeyev Design Bureau, the Sarmat represents the pinnacle of Russia's modernized nuclear triad. Reporter for Newsline World, Almar Forsuelo, SMNI News.
The brief lull in the Russia-Ukraine conflict has come to a violent end. Following the expiration of a 4-day Victory Day ceasefire, both nations have reported a surge in combat operations, with hundreds of battles erupting across the front line over the last 24 hours. The Russian Defense Ministry confirmed Tuesday that its forces have resumed what it calls its special military operation. The announcement followed a ceasefire that lasted from Friday to Monday in observance of Victory Day. Moscow claims its troops held their positions throughout the truce, but have now launched a coordinated strike across 56 regions. The Kremlin reports targeting Ukrainian military infrastructure, including airfields, ammunition depot, and fuel facilities. They further claim to have neutralized over 100 fixed-wing drones since the resumption of hostilities. In response, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported a massive surge in Russian aggression, documenting at least 174 separate battles along the front line. Kiev maintains that its forces successfully repelled the renewed attacks across multiple directions. While Russia focuses on long-range strikes, Ukraine says it has ramped up its air defense, claiming to have intercepted over 1,000 Russian drones in a single day. The rapid escalation signals an end to any immediate hopes for extended diplomatic pauses. Up next, hundreds of Palestinians gathered in Ramallah to commemorate the 78th anniversary of the Nakba. Demonstrators reaffirmed the right of return as the region continues to be ravaged by the collapse of recent ceasefire talks. At least 9 people, including 2 police officers, were killed in a devastating bomb explosion in northwestern Pakistan. The blast ripped through a busy market in Sarai Naurang, leaving the Laki Marwat district in mourning. And former government officials are blasting Antonio Trillanes IV, likening the former senator to a clown after he attempted to serve an alleged ICC warrant at the Senate. Legal experts are now calling for criminal charges against Trillanes for disrupting official legislative proceedings. More news when Newsline World returns.
In a world that craves the light of truth, One Network stands as an immovable beacon. For years, the world recognized our unyielding spirit, crowning us the most credible media company of the year. We crossed oceans to become Asia's most trusted and valued international news team, and stood defiant as the most outstanding independent Philippine media. Now, in the year 2026, we still face the howling winds of challenges. They bend the law, trying to make us silent. They spread fear to make the industry turn away. But they have forgotten one absolute truth. SMNI is not built on the fleeting praise of fearful men. We are built in trust. Whether the recognition echoes loudly in the grand halls or sits silently in the living rooms of millions, our foundation cannot be broken. They can only try to silence us, but they cannot silence the people who know we are still the most trusted and quality news channel of the year. Guiding this unstoppable force is our honorary chairman of SMNI, Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy.
The mandate of SMNI for nation building. It is always for nation building.
He is not merely a leader. He is a celebrated spiritual leader with strong advocacy for peace and nation builder of the year, hailed globally as a humanitarian pastor of the year, and the most influential and powerful man of the decade. Through every storm, he stands as the king of peace, championing sustainability and pushing for a unified nation when the world needs it most. Let the shadows try to fall, let the establishment tremble. We are the certified most sustainable and reliable news channel. We are the pulse of the nation. We are the shield of the innocent. The truth is our armor, the people our strength. We are SMNI, and our legacy is the truth.
Kapag hindi yan ibinalita ng SMNI, hindi yan totoo.
Sa SMNI lang ako nanonood at nag-aabang ng balita.
Matanda na ako. Isa lang ang pinagkakatiwalaan ko. SMNI.
Hello, Ate Kuya. Ano po channel ang pinapanood niyo po sa balita?
Ako siguradong SMNI. Kasi kung sino yung pinagkatiwalaan ng Duterte, doon kami.
Yes! Nakapalo po! Ayan po! SMNI!
Wow.
Bakit SMNI? SMNI kasi legit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No fake news, SMNI.
Ngayon po bilang isang OFW at bilang isang Pilipino, in-encourage ko nga yung mga kababayan ko na manood na lang tayo ng SMNI dahil patas ang balita at may puso at malasakit para sa sitwasyon natin sa bansang Pilipinas.
Para sa akin, kung ako sa inyo, tumutok kayo sa SMNI dahil dyan lang po tayo makakaasa ng tapat at totoong balita.
Anong channel po pinapanood niyo sa balita?
SMNI lang po.
SMNI lang, wala nang iba.
Para sa Diyos at sa Pilipinas, dating mahal.
Hundreds of Palestinians gathered in Ramallah City on Tuesday to commemorate the 78th anniversary of the Nakba, reaffirming the right of return as conflict continues to ravage the region. Jane Cognita has the story.
The Nakba, or catastrophe, refers to the mass exodus of the 750,000 Palestinians during the 1948 war. Today, the streets of Ramallah were flooded with a sea of black, white, and green flags as marchers drew a direct line from that historical trauma to the current crisis in the Gaza Strip. This year's theme, "We Will Not Leave, Our Roots Are Deeper Than Your Destruction," resonated heavily with participants who drew parallels between the historical displacement and the current mass evacuations occurring in Gaza. Marchers carried large symbolic keys, the iconic emblem of the homes left behind in 1948, while a siren sounded across the city to mark a minute of silence. Events were not limited to Ramallah. Mass rallies and festivals were reported in Nablus, Tulkarm, and Khan Yunis in the Gaza Strip.
المشهد يعاد بعد 70 سنة احتلال واضطهاد من خيام ونازحين، وأصبحنا اليوم انظر إلى غزة نفس المشهد، واحنا على موقفنا، نحن نطالب بحقنا، حق ومواطنتنا، حق أرضنا. سنستمر مطالبة حق أرضنا مش بعد 70 سنة، بعد 700 سنة.
Organizers emphasized the role of the younger generation in maintaining the Palestinian narrative. Muhammad Alian, chairman of the Nakba Committee, noted that despite the passage of time and the loss of original eyewitnesses of 1948, the political resolve of their grandchildren has only intensified.
الرسالة اللي بنوجهها للعالم: مات الكبار ولم ينسى الصغار، ولم ينسى الصغار. سنتوارث الرواية الفلسطينية جيلا بعد جيل، سنورثهم من مفتاح الدار، وسنلقنهم أن حق العودة حق، وأن لنا بيوتا لا بد أن نعود إليها عاجلا أم آجل، شاء من شاء.
The commemoration comes at a time of high-level debates by the Board of Peace regarding the future governance of Palestinian territories. For these people on the streets today, the anniversary was a reminder that any political solution remains inseparable from the historical grievances of 1948. This has been Jane Cognita, Global Citizen Correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
The streets of Paris erupted in anger as rideshare drivers targeted Uber's regional offices in France, denouncing a deadly combination of soaring fuel costs and platform exploitation that has left many unable to feed their families. Daniela Paulite reports.
The facade of Uber's Paris headquarters was transformed into a wall of grievances on Tuesday, smeared with slogans like "The state ruined me, Uber killed me." Hundreds of independent drivers, squeezed by the ongoing global energy crisis, gathered to demand immediate government intervention. Protesters describe a harrowing financial reality where a full tank of gas has jumped from 70 to 95 euros in just weeks, with many forced to fill up twice a week just to remain operational. The unrest follows a broader wave of transport strikes across France, triggered by fuel prices that have surged over 21% since March due to military tensions in the Strait of Hormuz. For many VTC drivers, the Uberization of the economy, once sold as a path to independence, has become what they describe as a modern form of slavery.
40% par jour de perte de chiffre d'affaires. Énorme. C'est colossal. Colossal. D'autant plus, d'un plein à 70 euros, je suis passé à 95 euros, à savoir que je fais 2 pleins par semaine. Donc faites le calcul, ça va très vite. Et d'autant plus qu'on est maintenant beaucoup trop de chauffeurs. Il y a aussi le problème des faux chauffeurs, des chauffeurs qui n'ont aucune qualification, aucun papier légal, que Uber laisse mettre en ligne. Et tout ça mis bout à bout, ça détruit les chauffeurs travailleurs, les indépendants qui travaillent. Ou alors entrer dans l'illégalité. Bon, non, c'est pas mon sujet. Donc. Ce sera plutôt le dépôt de bilan, terminer la société. Ça continue, ouais. Mais ça va venir vite, ça va venir très vite. Là, j'ai 1 an devant moi au grand maximum.
Beyond fuel, drivers are denouncing a drowsy state response and the saturation of the market with unlicensed drivers. Protesters highlighted a growing humanitarian crisis within their ranks, with some drivers forced to lease high-end sedans they can no longer afford, eventually turning to food like resto de cœur to survive.
Alors c'est bien bon, on voit les berlines et tout, mais ça leur appartient pas. C'est des véhicules qui prennent en location de son achat avec les partenaires d'Uber. On leur fournit l'outil pour qu'ils puissent travailler. Voilà, c'est ça qu'il faut expliquer aux gens. Faut pas regarder l'habit ne fait pas le moine.
While the French government recently announced a 130 million euro aid package for the transport sector, many at the Paris rally dismissed the measures as a pretense. Uber maintains that its platform offers critical flexibility, but for the men and women blocking the streets of the capital, that flexibility has become a race to the bottom, where the cost of work now exceeds the wages earned. Reporting for Newsline World, Daniela Paulita, SMNI News.
Senior Pentagon officials and U.S. senators engaged in a heated debate over the finality of the war with Iran, with the Biden-Trump in transitional defense leadership asserting that Iran's navy is at the bottom of the sea, while lawmakers warned of a potent underground arsenal. Joy Tabanao has the updates.
The Senate Armed Services Committee became a verbal battleground as Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and General John Kiney defended the administration's maximum pressure 2.0 campaign. Secretary Hegseth delivered a bold assessment of U.S. naval dominance, claiming the military effectively controls all transit into Iranian ports. He revealed that at least 65 vessels have been torn around or disabled by the U.S. blockade, a maneuver he claims creates a loop-sided economic burden on Tehran compared to the global economy. However, the mission accomplished. Rhetoric faced stiff resistance from Senator Jean Shannon, who challenged the notion that Iran had been defeated. Shannon pointed to intelligence, suggesting Iran retains nearly 50% of its missile capacity and continues to deploy drones from hidden, reinforced facilities.
But if Iran still has almost 50% of their missile capacity and the ability to pull drones out of caves and still injure our allies and U.S. service members, then we have not won the war.
The hearing took a sharper turn when Senator Lindsey Graham grilled Hegseth on Iran's nuclear progress. Graham alleged that Tehran possesses 900 pounds of 60% enriched uranium, a threshold that brings the country within weeks of a nuclear weapon. Hegseth declined to confirm specific figures in a public forum, but agreed that Iran has lied and cheated at every turn.
There is no way in hell they can have 60% highly enriched uranium unless they cheat. So everything y'all did failed. And you want to criticize? You failed. You allowed Iran to be a threshold nuclear nation. Everything you did failed. Missiles, Diego Garcia. Did they shoot missiles at Diego Garcia, General Kane, the Iranians?
Yes, sir. They shot a few.
Under the protocols we had in place, were they supposed to be able to do that?
Without reviewing the fine print, I believe the answer is no.
No, they weren't. You failed there. You failed to stop Iran from being a nuclear threshold nation.
Outside the hearing, U.S. President Donald Trump doubled down on the military's stance, dismissing concerns over the current $100 per barrel oil price as a small price to pay to prevent a nuclear-armed Tehran. He claimed that once a complete and total victory is announced, the global economy will enter a golden age with record-low energy costs and a soaring stock market.
The most important thing by far is Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. When this war is over, oil is going to drop, the stock market's going to go through the roof, and truly, I think we're in the golden age right now. You're going to see a golden age like we've never seen before.
As General Kiney called on international allies to assist with the tactical problem of Iranian small boat swarms, the debate in Washington makes one thing clear. While the conventional war may be winding down, the shadow of Iran's threshold nuclear status remains the ultimate hurdle of the administration.
Joy Tabanao, your citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
A devastating bomb explosion ripped through a busy market in Saray, Naurang on Tuesday, killing at least 9 people, including 2 police officers, and leaving Pakistan's northwestern district of Lakim Naurat in morning. Paul Montibon reports.
The sudden blast struck the main market of Saray Naurang at the peak shopping hour, turning a crowded commercial hub into a scene of carnage. Debris, twisted rickshaw, metal, and damaged motorcycles lay scattered across the road as emergency crews and locals rushed to assist the victims. Witnesses described a scene of immediate panic, with one survivor recalling seeing blood spurting everywhere the moment he stepped out of his vehicle.
दावा क्या چې کېدله دا واقعیا د څه لیدو نه وه خو یو دنګ وسه اما دا غږ وکړ چې پس ځل خدایه سکینر کوزېدله خو چې ځان ته مې کتل سرې وینې مې ادالې لوی پټ پټې لګیا وې چې دا دنګ چا وکړه چا نه وکړه دا واردات چا جوړ کړه چا نه کړ جوړ پولیس وال برباد کړل عوام برباد.
At the Lucky Marwat District Hospital, medical teams struggled to manage the influx of 43 casualties. Medical Director Dr. Muhammad Ishaq Khan confirmed that 9 bodies were received at the facility. Among the dead were 2 traffic police officers, Rahatullah and Adil Jan, and 1 woman. 10 of the 35 injured remain in critical condition and have been transferred to the larger Banu District Hospital for specialized surgery.
शोहदा हमारे पास आए, इनमें से 2 पुलिस हल्कार शहीद हुए और 7 सिविलियन थे और खवातीन में एक खातून भी इसमें थी जो कि शदीद जख्मी है, उनको हमने रिफर किया बनु और 1 पुलिस हल्कार जख्मी भी है. Total 3 police halkar, जिनमें 2 शहीद हुए और 1 जख्मी.
Security forces have cordoned off the Saray Naurang market, launching a massive search operation to determine if the blast was triggered by a remote device or a suicide bomber. While the region has seen a spike in activity from various militant groups, no organization has yet claimed responsibility for this latest atrocity. The attack occurs at a sensitive time for Pakistan, which has been serving as the primary diplomatic mediator between the United States and Iran. Analysts suggest the timing of the blast may be an attempt to destabilize the country's internal security as it plays a growing role in regional peace efforts. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, reporting for Newsline World, this has been Paul Montibon, SMNA News.
Former government officials are railing against Antonio Trillanes IV, likening the former senator to a clown following his attempt to serve an alleged ICC warrant within the Senate halls. Legal experts are now calling for criminal charges against the private citizen for disrupting Senate proceedings. Almar Forsuelo reports.
2 nights have passed since Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa was placed under Senate custody following an alleged attempt by the National Bureau of Investigation or NBI to take him into custody. Yet, his supporters continue to maintain around-the-clock vigil outside the Senate. Last night, former Congressman Mike Defensor arrived at the Senate together with Congressman Kiko Barzaga to visit Senator Bato de la Rosa. According to Congressman Barzaga, the senator remains in high spirits.
Very good. Very good. Good mood naman and very high spirit.
Former Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission or PACC Chairman Attorney Manuelito Luna also arrived at the Senate. He also expressed his sentiments regarding the current administration, saying that all of these alleged violations of the law happened under the Marcos Jr. administration.
All of this under the administration of President Marcos Jr. So, Mr. President, anong nangyayari sa inyo? Are you losing control over your men? Yan ang yung nagkuha naming impression dito eh.
Congressman Barzaga questioned the incident where Trillanes allegedly acted like an ICC official after personally serving a supposed warrant of arrest against De La Rosa inside the Senate during an active Senate session.
It's very damaging, pero hindi din natin na-flip what's his relation with the ICC because giving the warrant to Trillanes and having a private citizen serve the warrant during a Senate session.
Attorney Luna was even more blunt, likening Trillanes to a clown.
Alam mo, he appeared to be like a clown to me. He has no enforcement power. Definitely, he's a civilian. Anong ginagawa niya? Dinidisplay niya yung
supposedly warrant. To me, hindi pa nga sigurado tayo na warrant yun eh. It may be spurious. So, epal itong si Trillanes.
Because of what Trillanes allegedly did, which Luna described as a violation against the law and the Senate, he said charges should be filed against him.
He is not a member of the NBI. Neither he is a law enforcer. Anong ginagawa niya sa Senado? Ang sabi niya, ito yung warrant. Arestuin nila si Senator Bato. Yon pa lang, pwede siyang imbestigahan ng Senado for contempt and also for disturbance of the session of the Senate.
For now, the public continues to wait for the government's next move on how authorities intend to arrest Senator Bato, while more supporters of Senator De La Rosa continue to gather outside the Senate. For God and my beloved Philippines, Almar Forzuelo, SMNI News.
When we return, a 10-year-old girl in England is being honored for her resilience after losing her twin brother. The youngster received the Rising Above Adversity Award from Nottinghamshire Police for her mission to spread compassion throughout her community. And in sports, South Africa's Aiden Smith and Rwanda's Emmeline Imanizabayo delivered a gold medal performances in Ghana. The pair headlined the opening day of the 2026 African Athletics Championships in Accra. More news after the break.
In 2005, Pastor Apollo Siki Buloy founded the Sunshine Philippines movement. A mission rooted in love for nature and nation. It began as an environmental and humanitarian initiative to reforest Mount Apo. Once barren, now a thriving and beautiful place. Through his initiative, thousands of trees have been planted across the Philippines, bringing life and hope to communities. His advocacy, One Tree, One Nation, is also a movement that calls for unity in preserving the environment. Because every tree planted is a step towards unity, healing, and a greater future. Join One Tree, One Nation.
A 10-year-old is being hailed as a beacon of resilience after transforming the heartbreak of losing her twin brother into a mission of compassion. Recognized by the Nottinghamshire Police with a prestigious Rising Above Adversity Award, this young girl from a village in England has become a powerful symbol of hope for her community. Stella Marie has a story.
Poppy's life was forever changed in February 2025 when her twin brother Marley passed away. Despite the immense grief, Poppy chose not to retreat into sadness. Over the past months, she has demonstrated remarkable emotional maturity, supporting her classmates and raising funds for other sick children. According to her mother, Loretta Hansen, the 10-year-old is one of the strongest people she knows, noting that the girl chooses to be kind every single day. Her school recognized her inspiring actions and nominated her for the Rising Above Adversity Award, part of the Next Gen Awards launched by Nottinghamshire Police in 2021. The award celebrates young people who, despite difficult circumstances, serve as a beacon of hope and positivity for others. Poppy's courage has also inspired her local community. Together with her primary school, they raised more than 10,000 euro to transform a disused area of the school playground into Marley's retreat in November 2025. The space now features new play equipment and a memory garden, creating a lasting tribute to her brother and a place of joy for other children. Through her resilience, empathy, and dedication to helping others, Poppy Henson has shown that even in the face of heartbreak, kindness and courage can shine brightly, leaving a lasting impact on her peers, family, and community. This has been Stella Mariz, your citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
Filipino singer-songwriter Denise Julia has announced that she officially signed with the record label Empire. Meanwhile, streaming platform Prime Video has confirmed the release date for the third season of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Stella Maurice is back for the updates.
Singer-songwriter Denise Julia has announced that she has signed with US-based record label Empire. The Filipino artist shared the milestone on social media, describing it as a historic moment in her career. Founded in 2010 by Gazi Shami, Empire has worked with internationally known artists including Kendrick Lamar, BB Rexa, and 50 Cent. Fans and fellow artists congratulated Denise Julia online, with many viewing the signing as a major step for Filipino talent in the global music industry. The partnership is expected to further expand Denise Julia's international reach as she continues to grow her music career abroad. The streamer announced during Amazon's annual Upfront presentation that the new season of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings Power Will Rise, will premiere on November 11. Peter Freilander said the series has represented the scale, ambition, and cinematic storytelling that define the platform's major global productions. Set in Middle-earth, the fantasy drama continues to expand the universe, inspired by the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. Fans are anticipating the return of the series as Prime Video continues investing heavily in large-scale fantasy programming. This has been Stella Maurice, your citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
South Africa's Aiden Smith and Rwanda's Imani Zabayo delivered gold medal performances to headline the opening day of the 2026 African Athletics Championships in Accra, Ghana. Meanwhile, Southampton is headed to Wembley after edging Middlesbrough in extra time to reach the EFL Championships playoff final. Let's hear this report. South Africa's Aiden Smith captured the men's shot put title after recording a winning throw of 20.01 meters, securing the first gold medal of the championships ahead of Egypt's Mustafa Amir Ahmed and Cameroon's Billy Jospin Takubum. The 21-year-old University of Johannesburg standout continued his impressive season after earlier victories at the Botswana Golden Grand Prix and the Simbine Classic. Meanwhile, Rwanda's Imani Zabayo pulled off a surprise triumph in the women's 5,000 meters to add another highlight on the opening day of competition. In the women's discus throw, Cameroon's Nora Atimoni delivered a historic performance with a gold medal throw of 57 meters, giving her country its first ever women's discus title at the African Championships. Nigeria also made a strong showing in the event, with Divine Oladipo taking silver and Obiageri Amechi earning bronze. Meanwhile, Southampton secured a dramatic 2-1 extra-time victory over Middlesbrough at St. Mary's Stadium to seal their place in the championship playoff final against Hull City on May 23. After a scoreless first bag, Middlesbrough struck first in the return match as Riley McGree fired home an early opener to silence the home crowd. Saints responded before halftime when Ross Stewart rose highest inside the box to head in the equalizer and level the contest. With both teams unable to find a winner in regulation, the match went into extra time where Southampton eventually broke through in the 116th minute. Shea Charles delivered delivered a dangerous ball from the night wing that slipped through a crowd of players and found the back of the net for the decisive goal. The victory sent Southampton back to Wembley, with promotion to the Premier League on the line. The match also came amid controversy after Southampton faced allegations of spying on Middlesbrough, ahead of the semi-final clash, adding more tension to the heated encounter. And before we end, may you be inspired with the words of the psalm. Injustice provokes God and His anger and invites His judgment. And that's all for this edition of Newsline World. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, I'm Carlo de la Peña. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.